Apologies, everyone. Let's get in here to the game, and they should be good to go. All right, look at this hand from almost here. It looks like 2 power there. That's probably a mulligan, I would think.
I would have to imagine it's the mulligan. We have two non-time banners, and this hand looks much better for almost. I turn one initiate into a diplomatic seal for primal, which will allow this Blight Pass smuggler to come, or Trevor's Farm to come down on turn 3. So can't be upset with that one if you're almost.
Looks pretty good. And on the other side of things, Roshi's looking at 3 power, a Blight Moth, a Cantha Ascending, Vine Grafter, and a Vara's Favor. So it looks like a good, cheap, early hand here for Roshi as well.
So both decks having something to do, and out comes the Vara's Favor on the plate. One of the most brutal answers to an Initiate of the Sands, going back as far as the game is old. So
good one.
almost now
Vara's
having
Favor
to
is pretty good one. Taking care of that Initiative of the Sands. You gotta love it.
having to switch gears, plays that depleted Argenport banner, which will turn off this diplomatic seal from producing any future influence. So now,
Yeah, no influence for that Diplomatic Seal. That's a little rough, but it does have a Hoover banner. That's going to get primal, but play out that Diplomatic Seal, and that's going to play out a Strange Ally. I love that. When a player plays a Stranger, they get -1/-1 curse, and that's going to take care of the Acantha Ascending. So nice, nice for almost to get him back, get Roshi back for the 1 damage.
hey,
Right.
one good incidental kill deserves another, and out comes the Makar's Quiver and takes care of that strange ally.
There you go. So 3 kills on 3 straight turns there, but almost going to come back with a Logistics Expert and a Blight Pass Smuggler to go grab Kilo. So this is pretty similar. It's a different build, it looks like, but it's pretty similar to the Kilo build, right? That we saw in round 1.
Oh, it is a that deck right. It played with the same sort of thesis that
Both had
I'm
Kilo
going.
sacking units, play out the Triumphant Stranger, so pretty similar, actually. I know they're named different. I think they have different builds, but this one may be a little bit heavier on the Stranger synergy, but interesting here. No fire, so these 2 Triumphant Strangers are dead right now, but Trevor's Farm, which I don't think I've ever seen that in play, and Kilo. But here comes Kilo, going to sack that Blight Pass Smuggler. Going to go and get Learned Imitator to make a Triumphant Stranger, so that's one way to do it if you don't have fire. Get a Xenan
What a
Stranger.
Z.
Oh, but the wrong one. Needed a fire one.
A fire one would have been indeed amazing, but right now almost has to value that triumphant stranger he has on play more than life itself.
Well, I wonder, can Kilo? I wonder if Kilo can sack. No, that's not gonna work. I was gonna say sack the Xenan Stranger, but that's not a battle skill, so that won't be able to hit another one.
Nope.
All right, Edict. That's gonna take care of it. Almost needs to draw fire here then.
Almost indeed.
Ooh, undepleted fire too, but okay, a
That's
Makar
not going to do it.
Angel. That's not gonna do it. And if you see what's in Roshi's hand here, we've got a 7-cost Ikaria First Reaper. I believe this is the first Dark Ikaria I've seen since the nerf, but here it is in Roshi's deck, 7-cost Ikaria. And this one has +1/+1 and regen thanks to that Vine Grafter.
6/6 flying deadly regen, summon, kill an enemy unit or sight. I guess some people still swear by her.
Still pretty
But
good. Still pretty good. I mean, it's expensive. It's quite expensive, but still all right. All right, almost thinking
that
what to do here. So what are these modes on Trevor's Farm here? So the unit of your choice becomes a stranger. Interesting. Draw a stranger of
that's
your
a dud.
choice from your deck. That's interesting. You give one of your units, and each of units with that type +1/+1. And none of those are really very good right here. All right, gonna play the Evangel and gonna sack it to Kilo. So that's what, 2 cost plus quick draw, so 3 cost. Okay, that's gonna get a Smuggler. Which can get Last Chance. Okay, is there anything that almost can draw that gets them fire? No.
Nope. So apparently, learned imitator actually keeps the influence
Yeah,
cost of
but
whatever
yeah,
he turns into.
that's interesting. Yeah, look at that. That Triumphant Stranger is. All right. Evangel again. That's a primal Evangel, though. There we go. That Last Chance going to get the Kilo back. Sack the Smuggler. To get that Learned Imitator. Let's make another one. Here comes that Triumphant Stranger now. So that was Kilo sacking the Smuggler to get a Learned Imitator to make a Triumphant Stranger. And that flipped a Strange Duelist.
Whenever a player plays a stranger, they gain 1 life and armor. Pay 4 and exhaust strange duelist to silence a non-stranger unit.
Okay, not
So
bad.
almost is absolutely out of options. They can
Yeah.
just silence that Varia.
Yeah, I can silence that car.
Absolutely.
There's oof. A lot of things that almost wants to silence here, but I'm not sure taking your whole turn. That's the only thing you can do really, but I think there's too much pressure here. It's going to be tough. Almost they're back against the wall. You can silence the Icaria, but you're
Silencing the
facing down.
Icaria,
I'm not sure a
not
vanilla
what you
7/6
wanted,
is that much worse for you. It's still going to be a
not
vanilla
what you
7
want
search.
to do, but something you might have to do in this. Uh, because ultimately, this Trevor's farm does absolutely nothing.
Here it
But I'm
comes.
guessing
Draw a
almost
stranger
is
of your
going.
choice from the deck. All right, strangers have flying, so can play that next turn, but hmm. All right, let's see.
So
Flip
almost
is Steely Stranger. When one of your strangers attack the top unit of their deck, gets a random battle skill. Not super relevant on this board, unfortunately, for almost.
nope. And yeah, that's just wait. Is it lethal?
No, it's
No,
one, so it's going to put almost down to
one.
one. But it might as
That
well be. So I guess almost with this Soaring Stranger can give their whole team flying, but it's going to die to the Ascendant Agent in Roshi's hand. So I'm not sure there's anything almost can do here.
oh, if there's a Senate agent, the game's over. Unless this triumphant stranger literally flips another soaring
Yeah,
stranger.
it's true. We have to see what this Triumphant Stranger is going to flip,
Moment
I
of truth.
guess. Gotta flip
Moment of truth.
something good.
Do we see a second soaring stranger? Oh, wait. Almost checking to see if he can sacrifice one of these units for another learned imitator for
Another
uh
Triumphant Stranger.
another triumphant stranger.
Hmm. Now, okay. How many Triumphant
But
Strangers are left
remember,
in the deck?
uh two, two, because we've seen almost draw two.
Okay, so only two, so there should be more in the deck then. Okay.
So
There we
down
go. Gonna
goes a
sack one.
Xenan
Yeah.
stranger.
Gonna
Play
get a Makar Evangel. Okay. All right. There
not gonna
goes the
do it.
Soaring Stranger, and that's not gonna do it. Gonna flip a Spellstorm Stranger, and that's not gonna be enough. And Roshi's gonna take that one. So congratulations, Roshi, on taking game number 1 on this Shadow deck. They're gonna win game number 1 here. All right, Huntress was not nerfed enough, is the claim in chat. Huntress was not nerfed enough. Ilya, respond to Zelda64 in chat. Was Huntress
I
not
disagree.
nerfed enough?
I disagree. I think she's fine. She's still a very good card now. But this is Throne, and ultimately in Throne, that's the place to play good cards. And Huntress is at, I think, a very reasonable power level for the Throne format. So, solid card, still very playable, and leave her alone. Uh, she's she's fine where she is now.
I would agree. I think Huntress is in a good spot now. Still a good card. Still a good card. It kind of it kind of makes you feel how big, how good Huntress was before. That after this nerf, she's still quite good. Just lets you know how great of
Right.
a card that was before. All right, Roshi going to keep a hand of 3 power, Makar's Quiver, Reappropriator, Arak Razor Shaper, and Blightmoth. Another good starting hand for Roshi, almost with 4 power, Hair Trigger Stranger, Genev Merchant, and Double Learned Imitator. I'm not sure that's where you want your Learned Imitators in hand with that 5 Primal. That seems like you really want those in your
Ugh.
deck.
Yeah. The big weakness of almost deck, I think, is that a lot of the draws are sort of duds
Mhm.
in that the deck can't really cast the Hair Trigger Stranger, the Triumphant Strangers. The Learned Imitators are, you know, quite a reach goal as well. So it's trying to cheat out a lot of this deck with the Kilo. But if those uncastable cards are get drawn early, it can get a bit sticky for almost. But the thing is, with 16 different sources of market, those duds can essentially go into the market, be exchanged for a kilo, and a way to bring back kilo and to mirror kilo for the payoff. So we'll see how things shake out.
Tazbu the draw for Roshi and has the influence to cast him, so we might see a Tazbu coming down next turn. That'll be a good one here as well. Last chance going to be the market grab for Almost. Presuming that Roshi's going to be able to kill one of Almost units, going to be able to last chance it back. Here comes that Tazbu 6/6 Deadly Warp. Draw cards and lose a life whenever one of your units dies. Genev Merchant the
So
draw for Almost.
both players building their board. Roshi, for sort of the first one with a big haymaker in the form of Cosmo, but 4 in the air every turn is not negligible either.
Okay, here's the play that you saw. Kilo sacking a 3-cost plus battle skill to get Learned Imitator, to make Triumphant Stranger, to make a Stone Scar Stranger. This is what Almost needed last game. Almost needed to flip that Stone Scar Stranger on the first one. The
That
tough thing
yeah,
here for
that's
Almost
no
is
joke.
it's no joke, but this is slow. That's the only thing, is this is very slow. Roshi hitting for a lot of damage here. Gonna have to see. Almost is gonna go all the way down to 10.
Oof. A 3 turn clock just in the air is no joke. An exploit gonna come out and snatch something. I have to imagine it takes the last chance, but
Probably.
I could be mistaken there because
Well,
playing the
almost can
Traverse
last
Farm.
chance. Almost can just last chance merchant. Just do the same play, right? They can last chance play merchant, kilo it, get another learned imitator, get another triumphant stranger.
Right.
I don't know if that's gonna be enough, but that's a pretty good play.
I mean, two triumphant strangers fill up a board very quickly.
I can draw a Feln Banner. Now Roshi to that Arak in hand. Also, looking at this, Roshi rocking the new promo profile image there. Gotta love it.
Flying Phyrexian Dreadnought for 2 fire, essentially.
You think that's gonna see play this weekend?
Mm,
I
possibly
know,
in a
I know you're,
blatant
I know you're not the
combo
biggest
on a fire
Expedition
market.
fan, but
No, no, no. That is not my preferred format. No, sir.
almost deciding whether they want to attack in first.
Well, it's not like the question is which unit is going to chump block the Taz,
Mm-hmm.
and almost decides that it's going to be whatever stranger. Uh, Never mind that.
All right, so Kilo just gonna flip the Blight Pass. Gonna do the play, but just gonna use the Oh, I like that. So doesn't even have to use the learned imitator. I mean, I'm not sure it makes much of a difference, but can just get the because of the quick draw, can just flip the
And
smuggler there.
and
It's nice.
wow, those were some pretty good
That's
flips.
pretty good. Yeah,
Makar
Makar Stranger is
Stranger
pretty
and
sweet.
Ferocious Stranger.
Yeah, that changes the story a little bit here. Interesting. Okay, so now almost has some pretty big units with that too. Good flips plus a Makar Stranger that can kill some units, and then a Ferocious Stranger to give double damage in quick draw. All of a sudden, Roshi is facing down a huge clock here. Let's see, their draw for the turn was Explosive Potential. Give a unit
So
in your
how much
hand plus
damage is this?
attack.
14, 26, 34, 42 damage is
Oof.
represented by almost army of strangers here, with the Makar threatening to kill at least one of these units. So,
And the quick draw is huge because Roshi can play out the Razor Bots with Deadly, but all the units have quick draw, so the Deadly is irrelevant.
wow, indeed. So, the question is,
What a
does
hits
almost
there for
trade
almost.
anything for this Tazbo? I,
Ooh, I wouldn't sack the quick draw.
I would get rid of the Tazbo. Like, I understand why almost is making this block.
This is tough. I wonder if you just just take 6 and go to 4.
No, 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 because then you Roshi represents lethal in the air.
That's
So I understand
true.
why
Well,
almost makes
sort
this
of,
block.
but represents lethal in the air, but you have lethal on the board, so Roshi's going to have to throw some of those units away. I guess the reappropriate has regen, so that would still get to attack you. All right, here comes a rock. Now, no longer has the quick draw, so these will be deadly now. Tough to navigate. Unfortunately, I mean, you can't really pass back, though, is the thing. I
No,
guess you
you
could pass. I
can't.
guess you could pass back one more turn.
So there is something to be said about just sacrificing this Makar Stranger, kill one, kill the reappropriator, and then trade for what I'm guessing is going to be a Razorbot.
Yeah. 2 imitators in the market, also a mirror image in the market. So almost can go to the market and get a mirror image. They can also get a Kroll.
They cannot
They
get a.
can't. They can't get the Kroll because they
Oh
can't
wait,
hit that with that merchant.
they would with last chance, but I'm not sure that's the play. So
All right.
almost is going to get
Nito
Nyctotraxion.
Traxon. Okay, so get back. Oh, okay, so there you go. So that makes sense. Maybe almost knew that with the chump block last turn could get the hair trigger stranger back. So that makes sense. Now they will have quick draw on their attacks. Get it back with last chance. Oh, look at this. Gonna grab the soaring stranger out of the deck. That's gonna give them all flying. And Chad is probably like, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm trying to follow this along as we go as well.
Yep,
There's a lot of
this is
variables here.
definitely this is definitely Kilo putting on a show.
The
Like
question is
it's
is
now
this
the
is
Kilo
this just
show.
lethal? Now that they all have flying, they all have double damage.
So you have if you're Roshi, you absolutely
You
must block
have
the
to block
two
those two. That's
triumphant
8.
strangers.
See, I think that's just
So
lethal.
not lethal. It isn't. It's too short.
Oh, too short because these still have summoning sickness. All right, so these could not attack. You're right. These two could not attack, but
Oh,
still pretty
never
good.
mind. Never mind. Lethal off the Tazbu.
Oh, that's Osby. That's right. Oh boy, man. If you want to make casters feel silly, play a deck like that, and we're just trying to follow along here. We are in for the ride. All right, let's switch over to almost deck list here, tying it up at 1 game apiece. 5 faction strangers, lots going on. This is not a deck I would pick up unless I had some reps with it. So hopefully almost has been jamming this in their spare time because I would not feel comfortable playing this unless I had lots of reps with it.
Okay, so let me cut through the fog here. What you're looking to do is essentially the same thing every game. turn 3 market, turn 4 Kilo plus sacrifice for learned imitator that turns into triumphant stranger.
Yep.
And then essentially you just want to use the Kilo to just keep cranking out value while your triumphant strangers crank out value at the same time. I'm not sure if you played Eternal during set 1 when Big Combray was a thing, but Seraph, Knight Chancellor Seraph, when you used her ability, she would just play a random timer
Yep.
justice
Mm-hmm.
unit that doubled its stats, and eventually you just bury your opponent on the board. And this deck is essentially looking to do the same thing in a fairly roundabout way, except it's putting the pressure on the influence base rather than going tall on power.
That does make sense. I think it's tough once you roll some of those good strangers, figuring out which ones to keep, which ones to pair with which other ones to try to find lethal. It's a good puzzle game. How do you find lethal from behind with your random strangers that you're flipping?
That's the part where it gets a bit tricky. You got to be able to think on the fly, but almost is one of the most talented, one of the most talented pilots and innovative deck builders in this game. So I think he is one of the most complete players
I'd like
in
almost to
this
tell
entire
us
game.
about this Traverse farm though. This maybe it just hasn't fit well, but this has looked dead in basically all 3 games now. I'm not sure what the value is for it. There probably is value, but it seems tough.
It's to reduce the cost of the triumphant strangers, so that when Kilo sacrifices a merchant, that the triumphant stranger costs 4 power.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, that
instead
makes
of
sense.
yep.
That makes sense. Okay. And Almost is going to be able to deploy out all 5 factions now. Going to be able to deploy out now. Exploit can take one of them, but Almost has a backup.
Almost has backups for days. So you took 1 triumphant stranger. Well, congratulations. I have an effective 3 in hand. Akantha is going nowhere, still landlocked until she gets her 6th shadow influence.
Yep.
So out comes a
the
vine grafter and a
Grafter. Feln Banner the draw. And a Bereaved Stranger in hand. That can help racing situations as well.
indeed.
All right, Unity
So
Within, just going to give the Unfamiliar Interloper, make that +2/+2. But here comes that first Triumphant Stranger. Let's go off to the races. Flipping an Elysian Stranger. It gets you close to Learned Imitator, but other than that, not an amazing hit, but that's okay. Can't be perfect
so
there.
Roshi,
Can't get quick draw, double damage flying every time, right?
no, can't flip the nuts every game. But Roshi quickly going to go to the market with that. Well, not quickly. Vine Grafter doesn't go to the market very quickly, but going to go to the market as soon as possible, as soon as he can,
Yeah.
to get what I have to imagine is the Edict of Makar to
Yeah,
remove this.
one disadvantage of the Triumphant Stranger being that all of these hate factions hit it because of the 5 factions. So pretty much every faction hate card can take out Triumphant Stranger. So Edict of Makar going to be able to take care of that cleanly, and then attacking in with the Vine Grafter, almost going to chump with the Interloper. Going to pop that regen, keep that site alive, and get an 0-1 for their troubles. So could have been worse for Almost, but losing both those Triumphant Strangers is a little tough. Roshi gonna
Not just
draw Ikaria first Reaper as well.
not just an 0-1, not just any 0-1, but the Unfamiliar Interloper Shade that can sacrifice for that 4th Primal influence, leaving almost 1 short at this point in time.
Yep. We have
But
Merchant to draw. That can grab Kilo, Mirror
I can grab
Image,
the
or
Kilo.
Nyctotraxin. Yeah, it can grab the Kilo.
So now the
Grab and
question is,
play the
once
Kilo, but
again, what to
that's...
play.
I don't know how Almost feels about playing out the Kilo at the end of turn and not being able to activate it. Shields down. That would feel real bad against a Shadow deck to go to the market, grab Kilo, play it, and then have it just die before you get your value.
Yeah, so almost gonna say destruction is the better part of valor.
Back for that 4th
And
Primal Influence, so 1 away from playing out this Imitator.
Now the question is,
Merchant.
what's
Now going to
Market?
draw that Kilo. Light Moth the draw for Roshi.
Unfortunately, that Traverse Farm not going to be able to complete its agenda. A Confab gets her wings just in the nick of time and takes it out.
I love how many different ways Almost has to get a Triumphant Stranger in this deck. You can just play it, you can flip it off a Learned Imitator, you can get it off of Ultimating Traverse Farm. All right, here we go. Now that plays the Kilo with the activation. As we mentioned, that's what Almost wants to do. Going to grab that Learned Imitator and make that Triumphant Stranger. We've seen that play a couple times now. Shouldn't be too surprising here. Now, Roshi does have big Ikaria in hand. No 7th power yet. So that nerf affecting the game here. But if Roshi can draw undepleted next turn, going to be able to take out that Triumphant Stranger. Let's see. Flip is Strange Blacksmith. When a player plays a Stranger, they draw a weapon from their void, pay 8 and exhaust him to deal 3 damage to the enemy and gain 3 armor. Not amazing here. I don't think there's any weapons in Almost Void here.
Nope.
So just a 4/3 body essentially.
So now Roshi's just gonna start swinging as hard as he can, sending the whole team, just trying to keep Almost board in check until that Ikaria can come online. But only one copy of Ikaria staring down both the Triumphant Stranger and the Kilo.
And the Kilo, that's true. And did not draw the 7th power. So here comes Blight Moth. But that, making Triumphant Stranger no 1 doesn't really matter. Gonna be able to get another one here. And actually, with a Merchant, I think as long as there's another Learned Imitator in the deck, it looks like Almost going to be able to do that again. Play out this Merchant, sack
Absolutely.
it to Kilo. I mean, this
Right,
Acantha's hitting pretty hard. I mean, it's powered up 2/2 flying and get 2 more if we can get a shadow symbol or something here. That's going to be something to work with, but Almost without a way to deal with this Triumphant Stranger is going to be tough. All right, Kroll's going to hit, and Kroll's going to get back the Unfamiliar Interloper. I like that, which can give you the 5th Primal for Learned Imitator next turn, and going to get one this turn. So here comes a 2nd Triumphant Stranger, and Almost is going to have a 3rd next turn. All right, flipping Grodov Stranger. You could love to see it. And then a Fortunate Stranger. When a player plays a Stranger, they draw a card. That's pretty nice as well. The Linray Evangel was going to get you the Primal. Look at that. But here we go. Learned Imitator, another in hand. So now the pressure seems to be on Roshi. They're not in bad shape. They've got these flyers, but it's a clock now because once Almost starts get going, they can turn the corner pretty quick, playing out basically 3 Strangers a turn, drawing cards, doing all sorts of shenanigans, but Almost down to 8.
I have to imagine we're going to see the Breed Stranger come out very soon because Roshi's actually presenting lethal in the air here.
Yeah, that is true. So this could give lifesteal and Almost get the flyer. Is that possible? They can learn Imitator into the Flying Stranger, right? I believe they can.
I do not think so. Unless they want to sacrifice, because Kilo is cost plus battle skills.
No, I'm saying if Almost just wants to play the Learn Imitator,
oh right,
they can just play this and get the flying one.
Right, they absolutely can. I forgot that Learn Imitator can turn into something else.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly right. You don't see it too much here, but I think they can. So we're gonna flip the Merchant first, get another one, but Almost can't do the lifesteal and the flying play. So Almost needs to decide. Do we want to get now that there's a quick draw? I think we do. That's pretty good. Flipping off, getting the quick draw Stranger. That's going to get quick draw and lifesteal, so nothing Roshi's going to be able to do against that.
So Almost is going to completely stabilize here because this is how much damage. 22.
Oof, so 22 life stealing damage. Yeah.
Almost is now at 30 life after this?
Well, Roshi did what they could. He took out how many? 2 of these Triumphant Strangers? Tried to do all the damage he could, but Almost just kept pulling out Strangers, and now we're going to get 2 more at the end of turn here. Let's see. We got another copy of Grodov Stranger and another copy of Bereaved Stranger. And that also means drawing 2 more cards. Whew, going off is I believe the phrase for what's happening right here.
Yep. Almost deck doing everything at once right now. The Kilo, the Triumphant Strangers are out. Full grip. All the influence almost can ever want.
Well, and now the problem also is Roshi can't even do anything now. What in the deck? An Ikaria is not going to be enough. There's
No,
you don't have any wraths. I don't see what Roshi can do here to stop all.
yeah,
You're gonna have to basically pick off each one of these units, each one of these Triumphant Strangers, and then hope that eventually you can outlast the other strangers. But I don't think that's possible.
no. I think the game's quickly coming to a close because ultimately Roshi ran out of cards, ran out of resources, stuck on 6. Not a phrase you hear very often, especially in Throne, but
Well, I believe
that's
the devs
basically the story of
are
the game.
I believe BK is sitting there at his desk laughing, watching this and saying, haha, look at that, Ikaria. 7 cost Ikaria. I can't play it on 6. And that was a difference in the game. You know, if Roshi was able to slam that Ikaria and take out that Triumphant Stranger or that Kilo, but the turn before almost went off, that would have been maybe a different game, but couldn't and can't now. And now the Ikaria is still stuck in hand. Look at that sweet promo Dark Return, though. Props for that, Roshi. Looking great.
So yeah, let's see what else does almost have in store here because my goodness, flipping that fortunate stranger so almost gonna have gone to the market, get a last chance,
Elo gonna flip.
reweave
There we go. There's the Flying Stranger. I don't know the name. What's it called?
soaring
Soaring
stranger.
Stranger. Gonna get that, and this is potentially lethal. A lot. I guess you got
I
2
have
regen blockers, but you're still taking 12, 13, 16, 19. Taking 19 damage, at least.
question is how much damage can you take if you're Roshi here?
Well,
Yeah, Roshi.
that's lethal, I think. Can't do you can't do those blocks because that would be lethal. I don't think you can do those blocks either.
13, 16,
These don't have
19.
lifesteal, do they? No.
Nope.
I think you have to block the 2 Triumphant Strangers.
I think you have to block. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to.
yeah, you do.
It's lethal any other way you do it. So, yeah, 12, 18, 19. That's the only block you can make. Yeah. Oh man, unfortunately for Roshi, there's just no coming back. There was maybe a turn window, but couldn't do it.
No, this is why the even-handed shadow decks are,
Oh, oh,
so
flipping
much
Prophetic
preferred.
Stranger. Look at that. Flip Prophetic Stranger.
Oh
Now
boy.
all your strangers have +3/+3. As if the flying quick draw lifesteal drawing cards wasn't enough. I mean, and even with the 45 life, they also now has 2 6/6 blockers back anyway. Even if Roshi was able to pull off some miraculous attack, it's not even going to do
Ahead
anything.
on board, ahead on cards, ahead on life.
Yeah.
How many more
Oh.
ways?
And for the rub-ins, Roshi draws power off the top, and it's a primal or it's a shadow symbol. It comes in depleted anyway. Oof.
Yep.
Gonna be at almost can just A space here. Go.
Just swing with everything that flies.
Go swinging in. That's gonna be a big attack, and that means almost is going to be our winner here in round 2. Here we go. So that was pretty
Yep.
cool to see that Strangers deck in action. Very well done. Almost on taking that down. Condolences to Roshi. It was a close one. It doesn't look close on board right now, but that match was actually pretty close. It could have, one break goes Roshi's way. Ikaria still costing 6. Something else going their way. It could have been close, but almost
Right.
going to go ahead and take that.